Yeah, so hello guys, it's Kingsman Trading here, and on this particular video, I'm going to be explaining to you all structures and substructures. So right here now, we're on the chart on XAUUSD, and I want you all to pay attention to everything I'm going to be telling you on this particular video, because this one is probably one of the reasons that most of you actually incur a lot of loss while trading. That's simply because you don't understand the structure, or you just keep on taking trades based on the substructure. So in this video, towards the end, you'll be able to understand what are structures, what are substructures, what are minor structures, what are major structures, minor structures, and how to fully trade them when you have those kind of opportunities. So right here now on the XAUUSD chart, there's a 4-hour time frame that we're using. So now I want to check. We all know that XAU has been very bullish since last year. So now, when it comes to trading market structure, you need to understand, is price creating higher highs? Is price creating lower lows? Did price just broke structure? Is there a particular market structure shift or change of state of delivery? So that's something that you all need to know. So first of all, now I think this is the all-time high of gold, and it's around almost at a psychological point of 3,500, which is a very significant milestone for XAUUSD. So let's mark this out now. Yeah, and then now we've gotten our swing high to be this all-time high here. So after price did, what we'll be looking for next is if price created a failure swing, or what's price doing next. So first of all, let's quickly break this chart down towards the current market price. So we're going to know if we should be looking for bullish trade setup or bearish. So right here now, we saw XAUUSD created this new all-time high, and it created this low. Now this low now is supposed to give us a momentum to go up and break this high and create new all-time high again, since it has been on a series of uptrend lately. Since we'll be experiencing uptrend, we've been seeing a lot of bullish move. So expect price, after doing this, after getting to this point, as it got here, we're expecting this low to give us a major buying pressure that is going to be enough to break this high and then create another new higher high. But then what do we see? It gives us this failure swing, and then it broke structure again. So now this automatically becomes our new lower low. And we understand that if price break a particular low, especially when it fails to break the previous high, it can actually signify a reversal or particular retracement. And considering the fact that there's a 4-hour time frame, we are most likely going to see price at least take out this low. So let me mark this out so we can have it all pointed out. Now after saying this, I'm going to mark this as our market structure shift right here, and then this is going to be our failure swing. This high here is going to be our failure swing, which is going to act as a buy side liquidity for price to take out. So now before trading, you need to understand the structure of the market. And then now, with this being a potential buy side liquidity, to expect price to come and take it out, which gives us this zone. So now if this is going to act as an inducement, inducement is always close to a particular POI, then this should be our supply zone. So price took out this liquidity here, it tapped into the supply zone, and it declined. So now what happened here next? Right here, we saw price also created another liquidity pool. Right here, there's a liquidity pool right here that is resting at this point here. And then price took it out and tapped into another supply zone, and it's still going down. So like I said earlier on towards the beginning of this video, I said I'm going to break this down to the current market price, so we know if we're going to be looking for a sell or buy. So after saying this, what are we saying next? Now, if we want to go retail, I think we can see that price actually had this break of trend line that just happened there. But then let's fully observe. Let all protocol be duly observed. So now after price took out this liquidity pool, tap into this point, it declined, whereby it broke a particular trend line, and this is like the retracement. Now, if I want to move, since we're heading towards the current market price, let's move to the lower time frame. Now we're on the 1 hour. Let's go to the 2 hour rather. I prefer the 2 hour. Now there's a 2 hour time frame. And what can we see? Price also mitigated. I think if you've been following me, you notice I marked this point out as a particular area of value for price to react from. So why I picked this point is it's a significant level that shows how price got to this point. It had this minor retracement to this point, and then it completely invalidated this, should I call it a breaker block, and then it went up here. Now coming back to this point, this was previously a breaker, an order block. So now price invalidating it is supposed to make it a breaker block, and then price still broke through, and then head to this point right here. Now this previous order block is now acting as a reclaimed block. You get? So that's why I picked this this point as my area of value that I expect price to come back to. So after price got back to that point and we saw a retracement to this point, I think it was before the news. There was news this last week Friday. That was when I saw our favorite entry model. By this is our structural liquidity. And then I think I'll move to the 4 hour time frame so we can have a much more clearer view with less noise. These are structural liquidity. And now this low got to go. This low has to go. So just so we can look for a very good point of interest, I think this bearish candle can act as a very good. Hold on, let me move to the 1 hour time frame. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything out. I'm going to see a very good POI on the 1 hour time frame. This one is mitigated. Okay, no, it's not. So this one, yeah. I think I already had this set up and I sent it to my community. So I think I picked it from this point here. This point, which price obviously tapped into as a result of the news. So right now, this setup is not just based on my bias. Like I always say, narrative before bias. We already saw that from the 4 hour time frame. Price have had this failure swing, and every sell side liquidity has been taken out, including every unmitigated zone has been mitigated. So I don't think, except for this one. Now, let me tell you guys something. Now look at this. Most people can call this, can mark up their chart like this. This is going to be their inducement, and then they'll call this zone. They'll pick out this particular order block as their POI. It's a good setup, but this is risky, and it's not even a good setup. It's not even a good setup because for me to be anticipating this particular setup, this low has to be taken out. That's why this my sell setup here is valid, because anything that is going to make price to go up to this point is going to take this high out, because there is no break of structure to validate this sell setup here. There's no break of structure. Now, this entry model, this setup that I have here entirely is a substructure. This is not from the major structure. Now, I'm going to tell you all the main setup that I got. I'm supposed to be riding, which is this one here, which is this one. So let me just say this can be a re-entry based on I've already have my bias based on the chart narrative. So this is going to be a re-entry for the sell. So when I had this setup, the sell was supposed to start from here, and I was just targeting this swing low here because this low must be taken out. Probably, I'm not saying gold has completely changed trend based on, we all know after a buy comes a sell. So it's very normal and based on what chart is obviously showing us. So this is the sell. This is the sell setup here. And this can be a re-entry. Now, what I'm telling you about structures and substructure is right here now, I'm not looking for a buy setup because the narrative is already signaling sell. So me looking for a buy in a substructure is subsequently putting my account or that particular trade at jeopardy because I will be risking. It's just going to be an unrealistic trade because why would I be looking for buy when the narrative is sell? So right here now, I've not really taken this setup because I think it's not up to New York session and I'm still expecting price to take out this high, this previous week high. So this is the setup and my stop loss, my target is, sorry. I think I picked the buy position tool. So right here, this is the sell setup, and I'll be targeting this point, this low, as my target, and then my stop loss is going to be at this high. Yeah, exactly. So this is a 1:3 risk to reward ratio. Mind you, I'm not targeting this point because as soon as price does something like this, now, and then break this structure, I don't know where price might find a particular POI from here or anywhere to react from, and then if it doesn't get to this point, price is most likely going to go back up and take me out. So that's why I'm setting my target at a realistic level, because normally this setup, your take profit zone is going to be at the sell side liquidity or the previous swing low or the closest swing low, which is this. So now me targeting this is very unrealistic. I hope you understand. So right now, obviously my bias is sell and it's based on the chart narrative. My bias is not just sell because I just wanted to sell. It's because of what chart is saying. I won't go to buy, but at the same time, if the narrative is sell, then I'm going to stick with what the chart is showing us. So let me get rid of this. This also. So right now, I'll be anticipating for price to take this out and then give us this, particular rejection. After that rejection, I'll be looking for my entry at somewhere like this, and then I'll short and target this point. So that's going to be my confirmation entry. About confirmation entry is I might be looking for candlestick pattern, be it a rejection or a bullish or a bearish engulfing candle, whereby once I see it, I know what next to do. So that's my narrative for gold, and it's based on the structure and substructure. So that will be all for this video. I hope you guys learned something insightful and it's not that boring. So stay tuned.